So this next build I'm doing is this 14-foot conference table being shipped to California. It's gonna take quite a few weeks just to finish, but I'm gonna show you how much work it actually takes from start to finish to actually do a 14-foot conference table. So here it is. So making a mold, you really want to make it like, think about it's like watertight. So I put silicone on the slab here because it's going to seep underneath. And then on the ends, you know, the sides and the bottom, I just kind of silicone pretty good around like the opening gaps. So the first thing I got to do before I pour the table is make the inlay for the center. So this is going to be surrounded in epoxy, and this is going to be all different like types of wood, giving like various tones and grains and whatnot. And these are all the plugs, different types of wood, as you can see, that are gonna be inlaid into this board here, which is the sun, technically. Yeah, kind of a process, but thankfully I got this machine from Axiom. It's a 2x2 CNC. It's small enough to fit on a little cart like this that I could like wheel it around, or even like a worktop, because I'm in a small shop, so I don't have much room to work with, but it's perfect for what I'm doing here and countless other projects I'll be doing. It's pretty satisfying, but kind of nerve-wracking in a sense, just because it takes so long to cut out these plugs. And if I mess up anything here, then I gotta like redo everything. CNC says 4 hours to take out the plugs. Now that these slabs are in the mold and I got the table as level as I can get it, the next step is gonna be just pouring like 1 inch thick of epoxy, you know, probably like halfway, and then inserting the inlay just like so, because it's only 3/4 of an inch thick. Inserting that, then doing the second pour on top of that. So yeah, she's coming together. All right, so for the color, it's gonna be like a blue, but I'm gonna start off with this tinted blue first as like the base. And I gotta kind of keep track of how many drops I use. 1, 2. And then this Pacific blue, just kind of eyeball. It looks about right. Alright, so that was 6 gallons so far, and I think I need another 6 just to be halfway, because I'm doing 2 pours. It's base pour and then the top pour with the inlays and the logo in the center. So, yeah, a lot of epoxy. Alright, so now that this base layer is pretty cured, you know, I could dent it, but this is like the perfect consistency to put the next layer on, because then it's going to be like a chemical adhesion or whatever you call it, ever so slightly. But this template kind of just helps me like place everything out like somewhat perfectly. Now I'm kind of just waiting because I poured some epoxy top coat just to kind of like glue this down better so the letters don't rise whenever I put the next coat of epoxy on. But so the next day, I'm just trying to like stir the epoxy because it's like the right consistency to just kind of like get these swirls in here. Yeah, and like if you don't swirl it, all the color will just kind of sink to the bottom and it will just be like a boring kind of one color river with like nothing going on in the center. One time I forgot to swirl the table and the center river, the color just didn't look right. So I had to like bust all of it out, cut it all out and just start over. And I don't want to do that here. These inlays and cutouts here, they took like 2 weeks because I kept screwing it up. And after I stir this, it's gonna like settle a little bit. So I'm gonna have to come back in a few hours just to see where it's at. But actually, if you see the floor,
You know, I've had some leaks a few times, but sprung a leak. So this is my fancy silicone job. Kind of gnarly. But yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Didn't lose too much, but just enough. Yeah, here's the center logo. It looks a little darker in the video, but in person it looks a little brighter.
Now that I have the slab or the table back from surfacing, all I got left is hours, if not days, of just sanding this thing. Take some time. I like to speed this up so it's not as boring to watch.
Now after I get it surfaced, there's gonna be some voids and like some cracks visible on the top and probably the bottom too. So I'm just grabbing some 5-minute epoxy and just kind of sealing the cracks. I could use like top coat epoxy, but then I'll have to wait like a day. And I'm impatient sometimes, so. Crack right here. I gotta work quick.
So the next thing on the list is just putting these C-channels on the underside of the table. About 4 of them, just putting them just like this. So these pretty much just keep the tabletop flat so it doesn't want to like warp over time. Because that's like bad news bears, you don't want that to happen. So these are pretty much just like insurance for a tabletop. I gotta put 4 of them in and then recess the part for the leg. Yeah, I already measured everything out. Like you really got to measure like 10 times and cut once because I've been there, done that. Alright, so the finish that I'm using, excuse the mess, is this polyacrylic by Acceza. I've been using it for a while. I love it. It's a little pricey, but you know, you buy once, you cry once, you know. You gotta catalyze it, then reduce it. 72 ounces of finish. Catalyze it, 10%. So that's 7.2. Give or take. And wear a respirator whenever you're like mixing this stuff. I'm just, for the sake of the video, you can't talk in a respirator, so that's why I'm doing it. And then I'm bad at math, so you gotta reduce it 35%, so 25 ounces. That's a lot. Holy cow. Damn, that's a lot to finish. Wow. Alright, so I got the underside of the table sprayed. Got the C channels secured in. And then tomorrow I'm just gonna flip it and then do the underside or the top of the table. I could flip it now, but I kind of just want the finish to cure kind of overnight, you know, just so it doesn't stick it all to the bottom. And then I got a lift right in the ceiling right there. Comes down, it lifts probably 1,000 pounds, I would say, 1,500. But this table's probably around 400, 500, I would say. But yeah, just flip it with the hoist. I got sawhorses that I gotta bring out. Because you really don't want to flip it on this cart because it's on wheels and you don't want it to move on you or else it'll come crashing down and it'll be a bad, bad day. But yeah, that's it for today. Say hi, Sadie. Say hi. Paw. 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 Good girl. She knows what's going on. Floor jack is coming in handy. If I saw light coming through, I would cry. Alrighty, moment of truth. Alright, there we go. Oh man, this is nerve-wracking. Oh my gosh. was not steady. Looks pretty sweet, I think. I might add a bar going down the length of the, attached to all 3 legs just to make it more sturdy. But it's pretty sturdy now. I don't know. See what they say. But yeah, here it is. All in its glory. It's one big table for this small shop. I had my buddy make this bar for me just because there was like some squeaking in the table before, and just figured the bar would help it be more stable, and really no one wants to hear a squeaky table, so that fixed that. So now semi-last step, working on these outlets underneath. And honestly, these are super nice outlets. These are from a company called Byrne, B-Y-R-N-E, and this is like a conference table outlet kit. So it just connects all together, all daisy chain, and then just like one outlet that it all connects to, which is right over here. And I'm just working on attaching it to the bottom. Shouldn't be too bad, but yeah, home stretch right now. Alrighty, I got all these outlets installed underneath, and good thing I found these undermount outlets because I wasn't about to drill holes in the center of this table just for outlets, because that would really just take away the look of this whole table. So these ones look really good, and I'll leave a link in the description down below for these outlets if you want to buy them. All right, so this table is all done. It's really good to see it all finished, but the one thing left to do is to spray the legs and then pack everything up to be shipped to California. And then I'll make a separate video of me packing it up, and then I'm gonna be flying out there to help with the delivery. So really excited on that, just because I like going on deliveries to see it, but it's a little nerve-wracking, but really excited to see it out of the shop. And then Yosemite is about an hour from there, hour or two, so I'm gonna go out there for a week. So good excuse for a trip. I try to do that sometimes. But yeah, if you like seeing me build some stuff, please like and subscribe. I'm gonna try to post on YouTube more frequently now. And then yeah, I'll link my buddy's channel down below who made the legs. He has a really good channel, check it out. Yeah, this was fun. See you on the next one.